Thank you so much for your attention. It was just such a pleasure to, we've been waiting for many months for this moment, so thank you. And I would like to now pass the mic to Bill Drayton.
Brilliant. Well, I want to start by thanking everyone here. This is not a few people talking and everyone else listening. This is an Everyone a Changemakers meeting, where everyone is here to help everyone else be a change maker, help the country, the world through a very profound time of change. So, thank you. Yesterday, you heard from Eden Full. And so I want to share with you my own Eden Full story. In elementary school, I could not begin to imagine why I was being tortured by Latin and math. And my experience with soccer, where I was always the crashie, was roughly in the same general level of enthusiasm. But I loved starting things, especially newspapers. And eventually saved up enough to buy a mimeograph machine. Now, before that, this was pounding on a typewriter with carbon copies. So this is a huge breakthrough. Unstoppable after that. So it grew to 32 pages and then 50 pages, and circulated in various different schools and people all over the place. And it was perfectly obvious that I had to go and get ads, and I had to deal with these people in all these different places, which meant I couldn't be where I was supposed to be all the time. Well, many years later, when my mother died, I found this stack of correspondence between her and the principal. And she was somewhat concerned about why her 5th grade son was not in school and not at home. And the principal, very patiently, through this large pile of papers, kept saying, you've got to have trust in your son and don't show anxiety. I remember coming home one day exceptionally late, and I found my mother walking up and down in the hallway of the apartment building, and I couldn't figure out what this was about. But like most people of that age, I didn't pursue it further. Bless this principal. He gave me an incredible gift. I mean, my parents too, but it was very special. I was very lucky. Any young person, whether it's Eden or me or many, many others that we know, who have the experience, the younger the better, that they have had a dream and they have built a team and they have changed their world, they have the power from that moment on. They're never going to be afraid of anything. They're going to learn whatever they need to learn. They have the power to express love and respect in action. That, we all know, brings happiness, health, longevity. They're going to be a change maker for life. Everything else is boring by comparison, and you just get better and better at this. That's exactly what the world needs. We need everyone to have that experience, because we're no longer in a world where repetition is the game. The game is now, and it's going to increasingly be, can you contribute to change? Automation, algorithms, artificial intelligence, the web, repetition, even intellectual repetition, is disappearing rapidly. Change is accelerating. We absolutely, society needs everyone to be a change maker. It's not an accident that over 80% of the Ashoka fellows, check the people at your table, started something in their teens, usually early teens. Now, when you look at a statistic like that and you think about your own experience, isn't it sort of obvious that most of the discussion about education reform has missed the boat? It's about access to an obsolete system, which doesn't help. The old system was master a body of knowledge and a set of rules, and then you could be a baker or a banker, whatever it is, continuing repeating that. Well, that's just obsolete. It doesn't work anymore. It's the skills of being a change maker that's key. And every child needs to master empathy, which is the foundation, and every teen, empathy, teamwork, a very different type of leadership and change making. And the only way you do that is by practicing and practicing. So I have just articulated a very different paradigm for growing up and for education. And I would add for running any institution. The key factor for success is, for organization, is what proportion of your people are change makers, at what level of change making skill, and how good a job are you doing at helping them work together in very fluid, very open ways. That's a very different game. Now, I want to pause and focus in on what this means for everyone here. The alliance, the marriage between social entrepreneurs and universities is very, very important. This is about knowledge changing the world. We need to work together. And that's why this whole weekend is so magical, and I think we all intuitively know the power of this. So let me just pause for a little bit on what this means for universities. Well, first of all, like every human institution, universities are going to have to become fluid, open, teams of teams, with synapses going in every direction. So walls have to go. And we all know there's a lot of work. Universities are not alone. But the universities here who are getting ahead of the curve, it's a huge opportunity. Second, we need, just as we do in elementary school and middle and high school, we need this to be an environment where everyone is encouraged to be a change maker, to have a dream and do it and build it. And students and faculty and staff and alumni, the whole constituency, and reaching back into the high schools. When you see a new paradigm, I've just given you one example, children and young people. Think about this as a huge opportunity for everyone in the university. Obviously, in this case, education, schools, but also psychology and history and poverty and cities. This is highly relevant. How can you run a business school if you aren't focused on fluid, open teams of teams and what that means? So this is a huge opportunity for the leaders in the university world to step out and just move ahead of those that got stuck by making a really big contribution. And for those of you who are presidents and have to juggle 7 or 8 different constituencies, this is a way you can help every constituency. So whether it's alumni or staff or a community, everyone cares about some child, some young person, your grandchildren, your daughter. And if you help those people do a better job of helping their daughter be a successful person in life, you have done something really important for them. This is really easy. If your 6-year-old hits her 4-year-old brother, you've got punishment, okay, rules and enforcement, but you can also put your arm around her and say, well, how do you think your little brother felt when you did that? Now, this is not hard, but it's not the norm. And we can all make a difference. Research, we need better measurements of empathy. I mean, there's tremendous research opportunities, teaching, writing, consulting. There is just a huge body of opportunity here. So finally, last point, moving to an everyone a change maker world is the most fundamental change people have been through. All through our history, it's been about repetition because change has been so slow that in the frame of an individual life, you didn't even see it. It's going up very fast, exponentially, and that game is over. And helping people see that they are now in a world of change, the opposite of repetition, and what that means in terms of growing up and parenting and leading any institution, you have the ability to give people a great gift. And to help society get through this change quickly. And if there's anything that social entrepreneurs and universities should be doing right now, it's this most powerful, actually pretty simple thing. We're no longer in this world, we're in a world of everyone a change maker, where everyone needs to be a change maker, and the people in this room have the courage to see it. You've stepped out ahead. Now let's help everyone else get there. So thank you very, very much for being pioneers.